My name is Blake. I am 29 years old. Most people think I am a lucky woman because I live in a mansion with a rich man, but they are wrong. Marrying Elliott was the darkest decision of my life. Every morning, waking up next to him is torture. I wasn't always this way. Before Elliott, I lived my life to the fullest. I was dangerous. I was wild. I grew up in an average family in Los Angeles, but my home was broken. My parents didn't love each other, so I looked for love in the streets. I needed fire in my soul. In college, I met a boy named Logan. Logan was the sun. He was handsome, strong, and had a smile that made me forget the world. I was head over heels in love with him. I thought, this is the man I will marry. This is my forever. We were young and free. When I was only 20, we had a daughter named Ella. I loved Ella, but I was not a stay at home mom. I didn't want to spend my days cleaning floors and cooking soup. I wanted to be under the lights. I wanted to be a model and a showgirl. I wanted to earn enough money to buy a house for all of us. Logan understood me. He recognized my talent. He told me, Blake, you are a star. Go to Las Vegas. Take your mother and Ella. Find your dream. I cried when I left him, but I promised him, Logan, wait for me. I will come back for you. We will be rich and happy. Las Vegas was bright and loud. I got a job as a cocktail waitress in a famous casino. I worked all night. The air was full of cigarette smoke and the sound of money. Men loved me. They watched me walk by and gave me extra tips because I smiled like a dream. I worked so hard. Eventually, I saved enough money to buy a small home for my mother and daughter and myself. But I was exhausted. I worked until 5 a.m. I was tired of serving drinks. I was tired of having no time to play with Ella. I wanted a man to take care of me. That was when I met Elliott. Elliott was a very powerful businessman. He was older and he looked like he owned the world. He sat at the same table every Friday night. One evening, as I served him a drink, he looked at my tired eyes. A girl like you should be cherished, he whispered. You should be protected from this dirty world. I was weak. I was lonely. On a Friday night, Elliott grabbed my arm gently but firmly. He looked at me and said, Marry me, Blake. You will never have to work another day in your life. I will never disappoint you. I looked at his expensive suit and his calm face. I thought he was my rescue. I said yes. Within 1 week, we were married. The first year was okay. I stopped working. Elliott bought me everything. After a year, we had another daughter. Elliott was a good husband at first. He was quiet and stable, but after our son was born, the stable life started to feel like a cage. I started missing my old life. I missed the lights. I missed the thrill of the music and dancing. I hated cooking for Elliott every day. I hated the way he talked only about business. He never really saw me. He saw a trophy. He saw a mother of his children. He didn't see Blake. One evening, Elliott came home early. I was excited. I thought tonight will be different. I put the children to bed at 7 p.m. I put on my brightest red lipstick. I prepared a fancy dinner with candles and wine. I wore a beautiful tight dress. I wanted to dance with my husband. I wanted to feel like a woman, not a servant. When Elliott entered the house, he didn't smile. He didn't tell me I was beautiful. He started laughing. It was a cold, mean laugh. Are you crazy, Blake? He asked. What is this? You are a mother of 3 children. You should not be dressed like a showgirl. I wanted to have fun with you, Elliott, I said. I wanted to dance. A wife is not supposed to have fun like this, he said. He pushed the dinner plate away. Go to sleep. I have early meetings tomorrow. You are being dramatic and silly. He walked into his office and locked the door. I stood in the kitchen alone. The candles burned down to nothing. I went into the bathroom, sat on the floor, and cried until there were no tears left. The next night, the silence in the house was like a scream. I couldn't breathe. I waited until Elliott left for a late business meeting. I called my mother. Please, Mom, I whispered into the phone. Take the kids for the night. I just need to walk. I just need to breathe. As soon as she arrived, I ran to my bedroom. I put on my shortest black dress, the one Elliott hated. I put on my red lipstick. I drove away from that perfect house as fast as I could. I went to a dark, smoky bar in the city. I wanted to disappear. I wanted to be a stranger. I sat at the bar and ordered a drink. I looked at the people dancing. I felt like a ghost. But then I noticed something. A man was sitting in the corner. He was tall. He was strong. He was looking at me with eyes that felt too familiar. He reminded me of Logan. He reminded me of the man who loved my soul, not my diamonds. I decided to be brave. I walked to him. You look like a man who could use a dance, I said. The man stood up. He didn't speak for a long time. Then he whispered, Blake, you never changed. You are still the most beautiful girl in the world. My breath stopped. I felt like the floor was moving. It was Logan, my Logan. He was here in Las Vegas. I wrapped my arms around him so tight it hurt. I cried into his chest. I missed you so much, he said. His voice was deep and full of pain. I couldn't believe you married him. I couldn't believe you kept my daughter away from me for 6 years. I am sorry, Logan, I begged. I was scared. I was tired. But I am not happy. I am dying inside that house. Logan looked at me with love. Leave him. Blake, come with me. I am a doctor now. I can take care of you. You don't need his blood money. That night, I started a double life. Every day, I told Elliott I was going to the grocery store or the gym, but I went to Logan's medical office. Inside those white walls, I felt alive. Logan touched my face like I was made of glass. He listened to my stories. He made me feel beautiful. He made me feel wanted. We will run away soon, Logan promised me. We will take Ella and go back to California. We will be a real family. But Elliott was not a stupid man. In Las Vegas, even the walls have ears. Elliott started to notice that I was happy. He noticed that I was singing in the shower. He noticed that I didn't argue with him anymore. He became suspicious. He started to watch the clock. He started to check my car's mileage. One night, the tension exploded. We were in the bedroom. Elliott reached out to touch my hand. I pulled away. I couldn't help it. My body hated his touch. I only wanted Logan. Elliott's face turned red. He stood up and yelled so loud the windows shook. Who is taking your time, Blake? Who are you seeing? I don't know what you are talking about, I screamed back. You are a bad woman, Elliott shouted. He grabbed my shoulders. I know you are hiding something. Listen to me carefully. If you try to leave me, I will destroy you. I will take the children. I will take the house. You will be left alone, poor and begging on the street. You belong to me. I looked at him and I didn't feel fear. I felt war. I realized that my life with Elliott was over. The next morning, I packed a small bag. I waited for Elliott to go to work. I called Logan. Today is the day. Meet me at the hotel on Sunset Boulevard. We are leaving forever. I drove to my mother's house to get Ella. But when I arrived, Elliott's car was already there. He was standing on the porch with two lawyers. He had a paper in his hand. You are not taking the children, Blake, he said. His voice was calm and cold. I have filed for divorce. I have proof of your affair. You are unfit to be a mother. If you step on this property, the police will arrest you. I screamed. I tried to push past him, but his bodyguard stopped me. I was blocked from my own children. I was blocked from my own life. I drove to the hotel to find Logan. I ran into the lobby, searching for his face, but Logan wasn't there. I waited for 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours. Then my phone rang. It was a stranger's voice. Is this Blake? I am calling from Logan's office. There was an accident. 2 men came to his office. They hurt him very badly. He is in the hospital. He cannot leave. I dropped the phone. Elliott had done it. He had taken my children, and he had broken the only man I loved. He had closed the door of the cage and locked it from the outside. I sat in the lobby of the hotel. I looked at my hands. They were shaking. I had no money. I had no children. I had no Logan. I was broken into 1,000 pieces. I realized that the bad man always wins. I sat in that empty hotel lobby, and the silence was a scream. I tried to breathe, but the air was like smoke. My chest felt tight, as if Elliott's hands were still squeezing my soul. I wasn't just sad. My body was failing. The stress of the lies, the loss of my children, and the fear of the future was too much. I just want to rest, I whispered to the empty room. Suddenly, a sharp pain hit my chest, but no words came out. My heart, which had survived years of wrong love, finally gave up. It simply stopped beating. It couldn't carry the weight of my secrets anymore. The doctors called it a sudden heart attack. They said the stress was the silent killer. I was no more. But I know the truth, and now you know the truth. My heart didn't break because of a medical reason. I died because I tried to fly out of a golden cage, and the world was too cruel to let me go. Elliott kept the house, he kept the children, he kept his name clean, and me, I am finally free. But the price of my freedom was my life.